Okay, so I'm just going to start that session with the solution of the first question. Okay, I hope you will understand that one. That's right. Now, in the first question, it was said, just look into the question that was shared there, that a boy of mass 0.2 kg falls, a body of mass 0.2 kg falls from a height of 10 meter to a height of 6 meter. Now, whenever an object is falling down, that means the stored potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. So initially the body was at a height of 10 meter. Okay. Initially the body was at a height of 10 meter. This is the body that I'm talking about. It is initially at a height of 10 meter, and after some time it just fall down and it has come at a height of 6 meter. Okay. So whenever the object is coming down, initially the stored potential energy at a height of 10 meter is going to convert in potential energy. But in this case, we have to find out the change in potential energy. That means at 10 meter, we'll find out the potential energy. At 6 meter, we'll find out the potential energy. Then finally, we will find out the difference of them so that we can find the loss in potential energy. What is the formula for potential energy that I have told in the class? That potential energy, that is a mass into gravitational acceleration multiplied by height. Now, the mass of the body, that is of 0.2 kg, the gravitational acceleration, that is of 10, and the height initially it was at a 10 meter. So after the calculation, what the value I will get, that is of 20 joule. Potential energy or whatever can be the energy, every energy is having the formula of joule except electrical energy. Okay, electrical energy is having the SI unit term, you can say, as kilowatt hour. Otherwise, maximum of the energy can be expressed as joule. Now, at 10 meter, the potential energy is 20 joule. You can write it down like that. Potential energy at 10 meter. It will be more good. Now, the next thing that we will find out the potential energy at 6 meter. Potential energy at 6 meter. What should be the potential energy at 6 meter? Sorry, let's move to the next slide. Potential energy at 6 meter, that is a mass into gravitational acceleration multiplied by height. So in this case, the mass is having the value of 0.2, the gravitational acceleration is 10, and the height now it is of 6 meter. Okay. So what should be the answer? That is of 0.2 multiplied by 10, that is of 2. 2 multiplied by of 6, that is of 12 joule. Up to that, is there any problem to understand? Fizan, Sanjay, and that Dark Gaming 55. What is that ID? Can change your name. Up to that much, whether it is clear. Okay. Okay, now after that, we are just going to find out the difference of the potential energy at 10 meter and 6 meter. At 10 meter, the potential energy is 20 joule. At 6 meter, the potential energy is 12 joule. More the height will be, more will be the potential energy. So, in the next slide, I'm just going, that is of loss in potential energy. Loss in potential energy, that is of 20 joule minus of 12 joule, and it is of 8 joule is the correct answer of the first question. Why that is clear? Loss in potential energy. Kisan, Sange, yeah, Kisan, tell me. Okay, in the chat option. Okay. So this is the solution of the first question. I'm just moving to the second question, but open that question that was shared on 20th of April so that it will be easy to see the question. Okay. So I'm just moving to question number 2. Now the class is already been recorded. This recorded class will be sent in the YouTube, but it will take some time. I have to edit the video, then I can share. Okay. So the second question is, actually it is the question number 7 in that image. Now when a large box is taken to a height of 8 meter, just see the question. When a large box is taken to a height of 8 meter, the energy spent is 6.4 kilojoule, right? So this is the large box. Okay. Whenever this large box is taken to a height of 8 meter, suppose the large box is now at this point, at this height, and the height is of 8 meters. Now, how much energy do I need to take the box at this height? I need the energy as 6.4 kilojoule. Okay, I need the energy as 6.4 kilojoule. That means it is equals to how much joule? That means of 6.4 multiplied by of 1000. That means it is of 6400 joule. So the energy that is required to take the box at a height of 8 meters, that is of 6400 joule. Okay. Now in this case, you have to find out the mass of the box. That means the value of the mass you have to find out. Here, the value of G is given as 10 meter per second square, right? So whenever I'm just putting an object at some particular height, so I am doing the work against the gravity, right? So the work done against the gravity is equals to mass into gravitational acceleration multiplied by height. So in this case, the value of energy is given here. So I'm just moving to the next slide. That is the mass into gravitational acceleration multiplied by height. It is given as 6400 joule. The mass I don't know. The gravitational acceleration, that is of 10 meter per second square, and the height, that is of 8, and it is equals to 6400. In this case, mass is equals to 6400 divided by of 80, right? So after the calculation, 8 ones are 8, 8 eights are 64, so it is of 80 kg. So the mass of the object, that is of 80 kg. Whenever you are putting that object at a height of 8 meter, the energy required is 6400 joule. So the potential energy is 6400 joule. After substituting all of the values, I'm getting the mass as 80 kg. Whether the solution is clear, everyone? Whether it is understandable? Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, now in the next question, that is, I think, question number 8. So I'm just moving to question number 8. So in the next slide, I'm just sliding it down. Now, whatever the thing I'm just writing here, I will share the total thing in the group. Okay. But if you are having any other question, Any of the problem? You can tell me now. Okay. Now that is question number 8, I think. But okay, let me just say it is question number 8. It was actually question number 7, and the previous one is actually question number 6. Okay, question number 8 is what? A car and a bus are running at the same speed. Okay. If the mass of the bus, so there is a car, there is a bus. Suppose this is the bus. I'm not able to draw the very good diagram of bus. Though we are assuming this is the bus. Okay. This is a bus and there is a car, right? So there is a car. So in this case, you can say that the car and the bus are running at the same speed. Their speed is same. If the mass of the bus is 5 times the mass of the car, so mass of the bus is mb, mass of the car is mc. In the question it is said mass of the bus, it is equals to 5 times the mass of the car. I'm repeating, mass of the bus is equals to 5 times the mass of the car. So you are getting a hint to solve this question, right? So what is the ratio of the kinetic energy to the bus to the car? So the expression for kinetic energy is expressed as k dot E. It is equals to half mv square, right? So we'll just write down one thing, that kinetic energy of the bus divided by the kinetic energy of the car. So what is the ratio of the kinetic energy of bus and the car? That is equals to half multiplied by mass of the bus multiplied by velocity of the bus, that whole square, divided by half into mass of the car multiplied by velocity of the car, that whole square. Now, in the case of velocity of bus and velocity of car, I have just written only v. Why I have written only v? Because the velocity of the car and the bus, they are equal. So that's why I have written only v here. So they will be eliminated. The half will be eliminated, right? So the kinetic energy of bus divided by kinetic energy of car, it is equals to m of b divided by m of c. M of b is mass of bus divided by m of c, that is the mass of car. What the hint that we have collected? Mass of bus, it is equals to 5 times the mass of the car. Substitute that value in the equation. Here you have to substitute. So mb equals to 5 multiplied by of mc divided by mc. This mc is getting cancelled out and you are getting the ratio as a 5:1. So this is the solution of the question number 8, you can say. Up to that much, whether it is understandable, all of the people, Kisang, Sange, and the Star Gaming 55. I don't know who are you. Actually, you have just told your name, but not able to understand. Okay, thank you. Okay, after that, we are just moving. So I'm just moving to question number 9. Just wait. Now, whether the solution, in this case, we have just find out the ratio of the kinetic energy of bus and the kinetic energy of the car. The formula is same, half mv square. For the case of bus, the mass of the bus I have written as m of b and the velocity is same. So that's why I have written v square. I have not changed anything in the case of velocity. Okay. I have changed only the mass of the bus and the mass of the car only. And we know that the mass of the bus is 5 times the mass of the car that we have written here. That's why I have substituted the value and we have got the answer. Okay. Now, to the next question. If you are having any of the problem, you can text me. Okay. That is of question number 9. Actually, the school wants the result. And this year, what happened that this year, whatever the marks that will be given to by the board, that will be the average marks based on the ICSC pre-board examination. Now the class 10 appearing student who have already given the class their ICSC pre-board examination, they have not taken that examination very seriously. So that's why whatever the marks I have given them in the pre-board examination, that is too less and that will be sent to the board. So whatever the examination that you will give in the school, please take it seriously. Otherwise, it will affect your final marks. Okay. Actually, in the normal year, what happened? Their pre-IS ICSC marks is not so much having some importance, but this year pre-ICSC marks is having the most importance. Board will check the marks and board will give you the marks according to pre-ICSC. That's why. Even those guys do not know that whatever the marks that they have got. Actually, I was checking the copy yesterday before just coming to my home, and I was getting the marks for them that was too less. Maximum 52 is highest in 80. Yeah. Now, after that, question number, how much we have, oh, question number 9 we have to do. In question number 9, see here, the two bodies A and B have masses 4 kg and 16 kg. The way to solve that kind of question where A and B are said, you have to write down the given data at first. The two bodies A and B have the masses of 4 kg and 16 kg. So the mass of object A is equals to 4 kg. The mass of object B, that is equals to 16 kg. Okay. They have same kinetic energy. Calculate their ratio of the velocity. As the kinetic energy of particle A and the kinetic energy of particle B are same. So I can say that means the velocity of particle A should be V of A, we don't know, and the velocity of particle B should be of V of B, we don't know. These things we also don't know. So what you can say that kinetic energy of object A equals to kinetic energy of object B. So kinetic energy of object A equals to half multiplied by mass of object A multiplied by square of the velocity of object A equals to kinetic energy of object B equals to half multiplied by mass of object B multiplied by velocity of object B, that's square. So what you can say that half will get cancelled out, right? In both of the side, the half will get cancelled out. And the mass of A is how much? Mass of A is given here. Look, mass of A is 4 kg multiplied by VA square equals to mass of B is how much? Mass of B is 16 kg multiplied by V of B square. So that is of what I will do. I need the ratio of VA upon VB. I need that thing. So I have to change the equation in such a way that is V of A square divided by V of B square equals to 16 by of 4. I hope this line you have understood. V of B has come to the left hand side and 4 has gone to the right hand side. I can calculate this one. 4 ones are 4, 4 fours are 16, right? So what the answer I will get? Let's finish the sum here also. Okay. I'm just separating that thing, small boundary. So if VA square by VB square is equals to 4 by 1, so what you can say? That a VA upon VB equals to root over of 4 by 1. Why I'm saying that? Because if we know x square is equals to 4, x is equals to root over of 4. This is an example. We know that thing, suppose y square equals to 16, y equals to root over of 16. That thing you know very well. Now coming back to the concept, VA square upon VB square is equals to 4 by 1. So VA upon VB, that whole square equals to 4 by 1. Oh, sorry. So what I can say, that a VA upon VB will be equals to root over of 4 by 1. That is of 2 is to 1. V of A by a V of B, that is of 2 is to 1, you can say. Oh, that V is not written perfectly. Yeah, that is a V of B. All right. So in this case, whatever the calculation that we have done, why that it is clear? Because in that part, we have just need equal the kinetic energy as said in the question. In that question, it was given the kinetic energy of object A equals to kinetic energy of object B. So that's why I have made them equal. The mass of object A and the mass of object B is given. I have substituted the value like the 4 and the 16. Then the VA square upon VB square equals to 16 by a 4. That is equals to 4 is to 1. After that, you can see here, if VA square divided by VB square equals to 4 by 1, that means VA by VB whole square equals to 4 by 1. That means VA by VB equals to under root of 4 by 1, and it is ultimately 2 is to 1. Okay. Whether you have understood that thing? Kisan, Sange.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after that, we are just moving to the next question. Okay. Now, what will happen that after getting all of the concepts, whenever you will practice again, you will have a problem. Okay. Actually, this was experienced by us whenever we were at your age. Okay. So whenever you will have a problem, just click that photo of that particular doubt and send me. I will just help you within some minutes, obviously, if I'm being online here. Now question number 9 we have finished. Now there is question number of 10. In question number 10, what is said that our water reservoir is on the top of a tower from which actually the water is supplied. Okay. The water reservoir is like that, is in the shape. You can see that they are having the structure like that. They are having the structure for the case of water reservoir. That kind of structure is there, and there is a very big size water reservoir is there from which the water is supplied in your locality. Okay. Now, in this case, what is it that a water reservoir is on the top of a tower 100-meter high. So here you can see that the height, wait, I'm just naming it. So we can say that that much of height is 100 meter. In this case, it is containing of water of mass 200 kg. So how much water is there? That is of 200 kg. So we can say that the mass of water is equals to 200 kg, right? The height at which the water reservoir is placed, that is of 100 meter. And in this question, calculate the potential energy stored. Now to find out the potential energy, the value of G is given as 9.8 meter per second square. So the mass of the water in water reservoir is given. The height is given. the gravitational acceleration is given. So what you can say that the stored potential potential energy, what's the formula, you know? What the formula, you know, you can say. What's the formula of potential energy? That I have already told you, that is the mass multiplied by gravitational acceleration multiplied by height. So in this case, the mass is given as 200 kg multiplied by gravitational acceleration is 9.8, and height is how much? That is of 100 meter. Now in this case, the most easiest way to calculate, do not multiply them directly. Just omit the point from here. You will get 1 0. Okay. In the case of 9.8, if you just omit the point, you will get 1 0. So the 0 can be eliminated like that. 98 2s are 196. Okay. Whenever you will practice lot of numerical question, this small calculation you will automatically remember. Okay. That 9.8 twos are 19.6, otherwise 98 twos are 196. Root over of 196 is 14. A small calculation you will automatically remember. So here 98 twos are 196. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3. So this is of 196,000, that joule. Instead of writing 196,000 joule, I can say it is of 196 kilojoule. So I don't have to write down the zeros. Okay. Actually, what happened whenever we in the exam we write the zeros in a hurry. So if we miss 1 0, then we'll not get any marks, because the partial marking that we are saying in the board exam, it depends fully on the examiner who is checking your copy. It depends upon his mood. If he is having the mood that I will deduct the marks, then he can deduct. But if he is having some pity on you, then he can give you the marks also. It's totally depend upon the examiner. So that's why it's more better that check once whatever the answer you have written and how many zeros are there, and convert it to kilojoule. Should be more easy. Okay. So up to that much we are solving. Okay. The rest of the question just try on your own, whatever the concept you have learned in this class. And in the next class, we'll just schedule that live class again. From now onwards, we'll every day schedule that a live class.